gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Can you tell me about the ratings for Game 5 for people that get mad at me for talking about a New York story?
All right, everybody, welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here
sixth and final championship.
And so you're talking about the 90s?
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay. Well, now we're plus.
And
now
you are
so many
hearing Brian
networks, so many
Kilmeade in the
options, so many
background
streaming
as well.
services that even
So
says
hang in
more
there, everybody. We'll get
about how big it is. But I'm getting yelled at, as you know, Molly Hemingway, because a lot of people do not like New
Bear
York.
with us as that's straightened out.
Anytime New York does well, somebody's angry, like in 49 states.
I mean, there's an aspect of that
And
when it
now I
comes
will
to
show
the
my
Yankees
face.
because they're winning every year. But as you just said, the Knicks haven't won in
Give
forever.
us just
Right.
one second. We'll
Can
be
I
back
just
with the
be a
Mark
little
Hoke
bit
Show as
happy?
soon as we get
Thank
Kilmeade
you.
out of here.
So, Molly,
Take
how
care
dare
of it.
you
Hold on
interrupt?
one
I haven't even introduced yet. That's Molly Hemingway. Big three.
Number 3.
We got to face facts here, man. We have a real problem in this country right now. This stuff now is at home. We have essentially a homegrown like Hezbollah from the far left, and they're being radicalized online.
And it's crazy. That's Paul Morrow. The UFC plot thwarted. We have the evil plan and what we know about the would-be attackers as the DOJ indicts Antifa for their role in the Minneapolis chaos this winter. America's being attacked from within. Does that worry you? It does me.
Number 2.
Like I said then, I'm the only candidate who doesn't owe a thing to the political establishment. I don't care what special interests want, how much they beg, how much they give me. I can't be bought, and I won't back down.
So Rick Jackson weighing in after his primary victory in Georgia. The economy beginning to boom and midterm fortunes beginning to sway GOP's way ever so slightly. We have that and some primary results.
Number 1.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board, which has been supportive of this administration's efforts against Iran, said the world is more likely to see this as a strategic retreat. Have you won the war with Iran?
Yes, we have. And I think that's a mistake from the Wall Street Journal editorial board, because what does this deal fundamentally do? It ensures that Iran won't get a nuclear weapon, and it ensures the Straits of Hormuz are open.
Not really. J.D. Vance weighing in with Norah O'Donnell last night, as he did with Gutfeld and The View and Fox and Friends. Details emerging with the Iran-U.S. deal, and I see a little reason for us to be pleased. Question, did the VP actually tell Trump what was in it before he started praising it? Because President Trump now, according to reports, is saying the deal that has been written is not final, even though I think he electronically signed it. A little bit chaotic. Molly Hemingway joined us, editor-in-chief of The Federalist and author of Alito, the justice who reshaped the Supreme Court and restored the Constitution. The President of the United States, quite popular at the G7. When I was doing Fox and Friends, he did a one-on-one, a bilat with the Egyptian.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Let's try that again, shall we? It is the best in pro wrestling, the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, talking Las Vegas. Hey, Premier, my guys. Thank you. Come on, let's get that straightened out. I'll tell you guys what was going on real fast. I can't get into it in the weeds. If I start getting into the crazy radio lingo stuff, you're going to flip the channel because you're here to hear pro wrestling. And I'm here to hear pro wrestling because I got the man, the myth, the legend. He's a great American. Let's get him in here. Phil Stabber, what's going on?
How are you, sir?
What a week.
Yeah.
What a week. No, we had a couple days ago, we had our whole satellite feed for Fox News go out. It was a little bit of a pain. Yeah, and that is associated with that. So,
gotcha.
Hey. But so apologies for the late start to the show. Let me get the comments in the chat box up and see you made fun of me. And of course, Who else? Javon Campbell, 8357. Backstage attack from Kill Me. He is, get him back at SummerSlam. That would be awesome. I think he beat me up though. I've done stuff with Brian.
Stuff? No, I'm sorry.
Wow.
You are in Vegas.
You are gonna pile it on, aren't you? But Brian,
it was too easy. The door was opened, and I just kind of kicked my foot there.
That's what I teach my daughter. You know, someone you open a door, someone's walking in. So, ouch. But thanks to Mark Bonilla for getting his butt out of bed and taking care of that. He's awesome. Great boss. All right. I think it was pretty obvious where we get to start this week, Phil. Don't you?
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
Oh, my God. You know, TNA decided that since there were 4 events this week, one of them being theirs, well, that wasn't enough. So we're going to make news everywhere. Oh, let's see. So we had Aiden Prince is out.
Yep.
Trey Miguel resigns.
Yep.
That's a good one. Because he should be a world champ at some point for them, as long as he stays. Tasha Steelz resigns. Allie, the bunny from AEW, who I really like.
Who had the best send-off from TNA. So there's a way that I'm like, I hope they paid that off too, because it was such a tremendous send-off that they gave her that I hope they also reward it with her coming back.
Yeah, Tessa revived her. So she's in TNA now. And I think that's going to be great for the Knockouts division. She is fantastic. And she's going to beat some people up too, which is going to be awesome. At least I hope so.
Always fun.
So let's see. What else did we get before I get to the big stuff? Yeah, let's get to it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Tommy Dreamer out.
Yep.
Who was leading creative. After Tommy gets let go, Sami Callihan gets a call.
Yep.
Good friend of yours from the Wrestling Revolver.
Yeah.
And Sammy's excited because he thinks he's got the opportunity he's been waiting for forever.
Mm-hmm.
He gets ready for the meeting, and then he sees who is in this meeting and kind of play the oh boy card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they send him away too. So Sami Callihan and Tommy Dreamer out. And then I do not know who Perch is. I didn't have time to figure out who Perch is. But he had an interaction with Tommy Dreamer who he claims Tommy said that he was never going to let him succeed in pro wrestling. So that takes place. All right. And then Sammy getting let go also has, I mean, that opened a wound in Sammy. And you could kind of tell that because that's something he really wanted, you know, and he's put a lot of time in for TNA. He's a former TNA world champion.
Yes. All over. Yes.
And gets sent the door. Let's stop there for a second because there's other stuff, but I don't want to overload everybody. What did you think about this, the letting go of Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan?
So I also heard it sort of not out of order, but just because it was it Tuesday night? I think Tommy was let go. And it was Wednesday day when I heard about it. Oh, this is so bad timing. I text Sammy and I was like, I just saw this. And he goes, yeah, they just called me and fired me. And I was like, oh, and my first, and I'm that kind of person, like, I don't like generic responses. I don't like to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that's not the right thing to say. And I was like, I in that case, I was just like, in that moment, I really don't know what to say right now. So I was just like, I am so sorry. I was like, call if you need to. I knew how he was going to take it because working with Sammy, who, by the way, also owns the Wrestling Revolver, who is on his way to Canada right now. So not stopping, just for clarity's sake. And a lot of people, some people, I saw some of the responses online, like, oh, we didn't realize he was still there. He was an agent. He was a producer. He was producing pre-segments. He does such
90% of the work over there. He's amazing.
He was doing almost all, I don't want to say all the graphic work because I don't know the volume, but I see the volume he produces. And for context, years ago, this is probably now, 2019, I was at an event, and Sammy at that point used to tell me he was not doing graphic work for TNA, and I was like, I know that's not true because I can see the style. It was different enough, but I was like, it's I see it, and I'm at this event, and they have to create a new lower third. So lower thirds are what you see on the screen, like, somebody walks out and it's like, hey, here's Phil Stamper, it pops up on the screen. They were using his MacBook to make them. And I was like, and meanwhile, 3 other video crew were like standing along the wall. And I was like, Sammy, you can't tell me you're not doing this. Like I literally saw them grab you. And he's like, yeah, I do it. He just didn't want it out there at the time. And now he was getting paid to do that work. And I'm so part of my brain's like, well, I hope in a week that they have somebody who has a new template, because Sammy's laptop, it won't be there for them to make last second adjustments where they need something on the screen.
True.
The timing of this is interesting. Of course, now there's been more that's come out about, now it does look like TNA is looking to sell. They're looking for, I think, was it 30 or 40 million?
Up to 50. Yeah, we'll get that.
Yeah. So, but the second I heard it, like the reason I didn't know what to say is because I knew how impactful this is to him. And the things he said on that interview are things he has said for years. Like I'm so loyal to them. Like they are a part of me. I feel like I've have earned this, and not just, he's not just speaking from the wrestling perspective, because now look at all the work he's done behind the scenes. I mean, if without a Sami Callihan, there would not be the Rascals, a Myron Reed, a Trey Miguel, a Zachary Wentz, a Desmond Xavier at the levels that they've gotten to. There wouldn't be an Ace Austin. There wouldn't be a lot of the talent. There wouldn't be a BDE right now in TNA. He bridged that. And even when I look at the larger wrestling landscape, I mean, way back when he left NXT, he's the one who created Sanity.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's like, wait a minute, he's had all these impacts in the world of professional wrestling, and kick to the curb. Interesting. I mean, and there's part of me that when I look at the Tommy, the way you word it, and this is just me from my corporate life outside of wrestling, when it's like, we've mutually agreed to part. Like, no, you didn't. You were going to be fired, and this is just a nice way to speak. This is my opinion. This is just the nice way to speak to it. And I, for not the reasons that now I'm seeing online, because that ref said something. Now the other person in the match from the image of the ref is like, yeah, Tommy gave me feedback about, I don't know how I could position you as a cocky black man. And that he was told that. So I'm like, that's interesting. And this will happen too. Often when people in higher positions are gone, then starts coming out other news, whether verified or not. So I'm curious if more things will come in a certain direction. But I knew for a while that there was a lot of people not very happy with the direction of creative. I'm saying that broadly because there's more people involved in the creative process. And so I was like, okay, Tommy's gone. Next. I will say, when personally, having known Sammy for forever, and hearing some of the things that were going on with him and his contract over the last couple of years, I always felt like, I don't trust this. And I would say it to him. And I was like, I hate to say this to you this way, because I know how you feel about TNA and you want to be there. I don't trust this. This feels weird. Oh, they're delaying this. This feels weird. Oh, they're not giving you what they told you they were going to give you this whole time. This feels weird. This is things in my brain that I go through that I'm like, I feel like I was seeing this coming, even if he wasn't seeing this coming.
Yeah. Let me give you my outside perspective as I saw this go down. Mm-hmm. Tommy's out, Sammy out. And, there was some weird stuff going on in the show.
Yeah.
Just some questionable decisions, some questionable promos. And man, I mean, I get it, but I think this is part of a bigger picture. And if you look in the chat box right now, Coach Keith Morrison says, told last week, Mark, TNA is to be part of TKO. Well, I said that how long ago, Phil?
Right.
When they signed that paper.
Well,
I think this is all part of of completely changing TNA, cleaning house. I don't know if it really was anything that Tommy and Sammy truly did to deserve it. I mean, obviously there's some heat on Tommy, but when you start hearing the people that run the company saying, "Oh, this is what I want. This is my floor at that 30 million." I was like,
right.
Les, what are you saying right now?
I will say what's funny, and this is funny in a bad way. Well, actually, sorry. 3 things are in my brain right now. I'll say the first one. When it comes to the TKO comment, because that's been out there since all of this was coming out, like since they started working together a little bit. And I was like, I don't know. But then it came out that at one point, I remember it being said that TKO had the first right of acceptance of an offer that they could. I can't remember the right terminology. I apologize.
Right of refusal.
Thank you. First right of refusal. Well, now I'm hearing that this new apparent potential for sale is happening, that AMC has the first right of refusal. I'm like, well, which is true?
Really? I never heard that.
I just saw that yesterday, and I was like, is this true? I don't know if this is true. So it's like, well, who has what ownership of what and who doesn't? And, I think we're going to, that's still going to be coming. I think we're going to hear more and more about this. And now apparently that it has been rated for a certain amount.
Well, that's what Les Asper said. Now, what it's really worth, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, I don't know what they have in assets or anything like that, but it's, I felt like when they signed that agreement with WWE, that it didn't sit right with me as I heard some of the details come out, and I'm like, you're really leaving yourselves open in a lot of ways to get your company pilfered. If someone may be interested in taking the sale, WWE can step in and take it and stop it. Mm-hmm. And it's bye-bye TNA. And, they had that great momentum at the end of last year, and then all of a sudden, boom. Now they've got their street team out there passing out tickets. I think I think that they're setting this up to sell it. I really do. And that may be why they're cleaning the books, and getting a lot of people out of there that are high-priced salaries. Raise the value. What do you think?
Every company does this, especially when they're potentially going to do a buyout, or when they're like, hey, we need to leverage our funding a little bit better. Like, okay, we're going to do these massive cuts. And sometimes those cuts are big hatchet swings, not, chiseling. And so is this just part of a big hatchet swing? I didn't know who Les was until yesterday. I'm like, how many heads do you have? You had Tommy, you had Carlos, you have Les. Like,
it's a strange corporate setup.
Right. I'm like,
I need to get the flow chart.
Right. I'm like, who are all of these people and what were all of them doing? And if you might recall, about a year-ish ago, I have my dates wrong in my brain. They did another round of higher up firings that were people making, good 6-figure salaries. And so it's
Scott
like
Demore would be an example.
Yeah, Scott was gone. I can't remember their marketing guy who was that sign guy. I can't remember. My brain is misfiring right now, but they went through that. And there's been a lot of talent that they've let go or allowed not to re-sign or whatever in the last few months. We mentioned, Tess is gone. Aiden Prince is gone. Gail Kim was let go about a year. Gail Kim was let go about a year ago. Steve Macklin, they let go. There's been all these other folks that have been removed along the way. And it's like, is this just their attempt to streamline their finances? And it sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it's a shame because look, TNA has somehow managed to dodge nuclear bombs to stay alive. They are the cockroaches of pro wrestling. It's incredible.
I want to say that in a good way.
Yeah. They just, when they're teetering on the edge, they find their way back. But I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic and hope TNA doesn't go down, but somebody might want that film library pretty badly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. I do want to talk about Tessa Blanchard when we come back. Among other things, a lot of tournaments going on. The King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring. I got a surprise or two there. That's pretty interesting. Oh, my God. And who is now taking credit for the Montreal screw job? We'll find out as the show rolls on. Phil Stamper, my boy, right here on KDAWN with me, Mark Hoke. We'll be right back.
A synthetic blend oil change for just $24.95? Seriously, In today's market, that's one of the best automotive values you'll find anywhere. But this isn't just an oil change. Your vehicle is serviced by trained, certified technicians. Every visit includes a free digital inspection, and every service is backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. But don't wait. At $24.95, this offer won't last forever. Schedule today at Meineke.com. Meineke, doing car care right.
Sun's out, so dads are too. This Father's Day at Lowe's, shop the gear that'll make his summer. Get 2 free Select DeWalt power tools when you buy a Select 5 amp-hour battery kit for weekends in the garage. Plus, get a free Blackstone 6-piece stainless steel griddle kit when you buy a Select Blackstone griddle. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price of participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price. $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes auto pay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, lady, Brian Kilmeade ran away. I swear to God, next time I see him, Phil, next time I see him, he's going to hear about it. No, he's not. I was on stage with him and, just was super nice. Couldn't beat the guy for anything. Just fantastic. So, yeah, make sure you listen to the Brian Kilmeade show here on KDAWN. Mornings.
At a different time.
In
Not
the mornings. Yeah, but not now. So 2 more things to wrap up what's going on with TNA, and we'll put a bow on it. First, you mentioned Tessa Blanchard is out.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter of Tully Blanchard, the stepdaughter of Magnum TA. This with about half her contract left, especially. Sent back and went to CMLL. They wanted to give her a raise, but she said nope. Boy, is that telling. What's it telling, though, Phil? What do you think?
I think she's putting a nicer bow on it. That's my personal opinion, without having any inside knowledge. Like, I'm just, to be clear, just the little things I've heard on the side. I'm just like, they wanted to what? Like, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But is the move to CMLL the right play for her? Because, man, I would have tried to call the gang at WWE, and I've said this on the show, and I still say it. And I'll probably be saying it in a couple of years from now. A Tessa Blanchard Charlotte Flair feud is printing money, especially if Tessa comes in with an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charlotte will get her attitude. And the Flair Blanchard thing would be awesome. So I was really surprised that she just jumped to CMLL right away.
That's why I'm kind of like, was there something else out there? Was something else going on? Was it that she wanted a break for a minute to do some CMLL stuff anyway? And then it was like, well, okay, go. Like, I question it in the middle of all of this that, oh yeah, it just so happened that at the same time we're gonna say bye to Tessa because of a mutual.
Parting
I don't know.
ways.
I don't know if I buy that at this moment in time, just because of everything else that happened.
It's really strange that she'd leave in the middle of her contract, and TNA would make this decision too. So we'll see what happens. But Phil, do you have optimism for the future of Tessa Blanchard?
I didn't a few years ago. I thought, like, okay, for sure, done. And she came back to TNA and had the longest merch lines of most people. And so, or meet and greet lines, I should say. So I'm okay. It's funny because of the people who would say really like dastardly things on signs. I can't say them on the radio.
No, you cannot. And just so everybody knows, in case you haven't followed the saga of Tessa Blanchard, she was accused of some racist comments and being a bully in the locker room. And, that ended up causing more trouble for her. And then the salary issue when she was TNA World Champion and walked. So she left a trail, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah. And people who were calling out in the crowd would also be the same people standing in her merch line.
Of course.
And so it's also like, well, in the world of who's face and who's heel and who's really heel and who's really face, is interesting because the whole adage of like, well, when you're a bad guy, you make less money in merch. I mean, that seems to have always rung true, but you still are selling merch. And in Tessa's case, she was selling a lot. So,
I just think she was a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, she was the TNA World Champion, not the Knockouts Champion, the World Champion in that crazy feud with Sammy. Amazing how this is all coming back in a circle, but
right.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens with Tessa. Right. So now all these people are out. We got a couple new signings, couple re-signings. Where is TNA right now? Because I just pulled the roster up, and it's not bad or anything like that. They got a ton of talented performers there. But the question is, are they going to end up starting over and everybody banding together in there and saying, look, we've done this a million times. Let's do it again. Get ourselves back on track. Or could this be the end?
I don't think it's the end. I think it seems like the idea is that it would take a new form, but what is that new form? And if anything, TNA has revitalized itself so many times. This is years and years ago when they first started. I used to make this joke. It was like, whenever they would move to a new platform, Jeff Jarrett was the heavyweight champion and AJ Styles was the ex-champion. And they like kept recycling that like for years on the different stations they went through. And so like I can see them continuing to reposition themselves. And I can't remember now, even though they're not on Access TV anymore, I thought Anthem and Access still had a relationship of some sort. So it's like, well, okay, if AMC doesn't work out, do they go back to Access? Because they might still have that relationship. Even though Scott D'Amore has an ownership in Access, maybe he doesn't want them back. So, or without some kind of arrangement involving him. So there's a lot of question marks of what could happen in the future. It seemed like somebody, Scott D'Amore had tried to make a purchase of TNA directly. I thought I had seen something. Again, I'm gonna misquote the numbers. Not as much as what Les put out there that he wanted for the company, and they turned him down. So now I'm like, well, if none of these sale potentials go through by the end of this calendar year, then do they reevaluate? Do we start hearing, well, Scott's now interested in coming back if he is the owner and here's his offer? Do you start hearing and seeing some of those things?
Yeah, and I don't know why people that are involved in wrestling put their numbers out there before there's even a discussion or a thought. Yeah, our floor is 30 million. We want to try and get 50. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let's say I walk in, I win the lottery and decide I'm going to buy TNA. Dude, here's your $25 million. Take it or leave it. What? No. Nope, not going to do it. Okay, how about your 30 that you said you'd take? because I'm not giving you another dime. I just don't get why
Right.
you do that kind of stuff, Phil. I don't get it.
Unless, and again, this is not me knowing, but it's sort of like, is he putting out that number of 30 because he's willing to settle for something lower? And so if he says it's 30, then if he does get 30, well, wow, that's like X more than I thought I was going to get.
It could be the reverse sales trick.
Right.
Good point. Let's see. So, yeah, that's TNA, and they're going to be getting ready for Slammiversary coming up. What do you think of this card, Phil? I think it's going to be fun. You know, NXT's going to be stepping on them a little bit, which I'm sure that they really appreciated. But should be a good show. We got a main event of Mike Santana with Nick Nemeth. System, Hardys, Righteous, which is the match that I'm really looking forward to on the card. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Lei Ying against Zai Brookside, Eddie Edwards against Moose. Mustafa Ali, we're waiting to see who ends up being his opponents in open challenge. Eric Young and Ricky Sosa. Elegance Brand and Rosemary and Allie. That might actually be a fun match to watch. I might get a kick out of that one. And then Cedric Alexander, Leon Slayer, Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, Fabian Eichner, and Casey Navarro and Amazing Red, all in the X Division Championship.
Yeah.
That means all hell is going to break loose in that one.
This is just because of the timing of all of this. So Tuesday, I know Sammy was working on some Slammiversary stuff. He had to stop because he had to make Amazing Red merch. He started back working on Slammiversary. They fire him. They called him back because they needed some more work done.
Oh, I had that happen once too.
Yeah.
That is just like, are you kidding me?
He did. He could have just been like, he's like, I thought it was going to hurt the talent and hurt the show if I didn't do it. So I did it. Man,
he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Yeah. So there's your TNA wrap for the week. Oh my God. That whole thing is just crazy. Well, let's slide it on down. I'm going to go to AEW real quick. The Owen Hart tournaments are down to the finals. Maya World gets a second upset. She faces Mercedes Moné in the final at Forbidden Door. On the men's side, as we kind of expected, Will Ospreay gets Swerve Strickland. What do you think? Who wins? Who's going to take these beautiful pink belts? They wouldn't screw Mercedes, would they?
I just want to watch it. It's okay. On the Maya World Mercedes side, I mean, we've talked on here. I think, Moné's run through her time, give her something different. So I think transitioning to Maya World could be very interesting for what then it could set up for something in a change for Moné, because I think she needs it. You mentioned Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, and I'm like, yes. Yes. That's
Could I have a 5-hour time limit on that, please? Please.
Right. That is the pay-per-view. Awesome.
Oh my God. Both of them would kill me if they heard me say that, but no, actually they might get a kick out of it.
Right.
I don't know.
I've known Strick for a very long time, so he might kill me, but at the same time, man, I want to see you wrestle this match.
Yeah.
Of course, my favorite wrestler in the world, Zack Sabre Jr., is wrestling.
Yeah, so, Kenny Omega with him.
Right. So in that match too, I'm like, I really want to see that match.
Yeah, this pay-per-view is looking pretty good, and they still don't have everything settled out on that. But so you think Maya World is going to win this tournament? I don't.
I really don't think she is going to, but I think, wow, this could be an interesting way to launch off Maya and have Mercedes have this moment of questioning in her character and then, revitalizing something or, knocking it a little different. And it's a tournament, so it feels different. I don't know. I kind of like the idea. Give Mercedes another way to be focused on. She doesn't need a championship. She's Mercedes Moné.
Right.
Give it to Maya World. Let Maya go on to that and have, again, Mercedes just reinvigorates herself.
Now, you do have another twist on this, too, that she just beat Athena to get to this final, the longtime Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Yeah.
That score is probably not going to be settled. But I'll tell you what, give me Mercedes and give me Tekla and lock those two, shall we say, tempestuous ladies in a in a brawl and another brawl and another brawl. Because they'll fight. They'll scrap.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great feud as long as that's what happens. But yeah, but I'll take Mercedes and Will, and we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff on AEW as they get ready to head into Forbidden Door. And so I catch up here. I'm going to get on break, and we'll talk a little bit about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. And then we head to WWE land. Who will be crowned? Phil's hoping it's just one that, covers the head. I got to cover the forehead.
I mean,
you look good, Phil.
You're not too far away.
I know. You look good, though, Phil. You always do. Phil Stamper, I'm Mark Hoke. Best in pro wrestling right here on KDAWN. Stick around.
Dear Rattlesnake, Toyota Tacoma bites back with a truckload of attitude and the power to back it up. An available iForce Max hybrid powertrain is poised to strike. With up to 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque, Tacoma is one mean machine. Now who's rattled? Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
From backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Fairy Morse 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price, $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes auto pay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, that's me.
And just you. Or just
Wow.
us, I should say.
Well, you're not Mark Hoke.
Well, that's fair.
If it said Mark Hoke and Phil Stamper, then I would have used the term us.
No, I didn't mean that way. I just meant
I know.
with our earlier issues.
I know. It's all good. So we have the finals for the King and Queen of the Ring. And I'm going to lead into something else when I give these to you, if you didn't happen to see it. So, of course, Obafemi has made it through. So he is going to Saudi. No problem there. Jey Uso gets his win, including sending LA Knight packing. Oh. Phil, do you like this matchup?
No.
Nice. That's why we pay him the big bucks.
Right. I'm not.
No, I get it. I
I'm
totally
not
get
an
it.
Uso guy, to be very honest.
So he beat Javon Evans. Dominic Mysterio got beat by Obafemi. So the young kids, they had their Cinderella run, but they are out.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jey Uso actually going to win this tournament? Because I hate to say it, I think he is. And everybody's going to go nuts. I mean, I was mad enough that Jay won that match with LA Knight, Royce Keys, Finn Balor. That one chapped me a little bit. There's a storyline going, but
well, there's part of me that is like, if Brock, I feel like Brock Lesnar kind of blessed Obafemi. Hey, he's the guy, and so I feel like this really could be Obafemi's. And like, okay, we're gonna satellite him, but that there's still a little bit of some hesitation, and so that's why it's gonna be Jey Uso. Well, Jey Uso's Jey. He's been around. He knows everybody. Like, okay, so it could reasonably be Jey, but wow, if Oba beats Jey, he already has wins over this world champion. And look at this, and look at Oba can do. So I feel like that it could be a great opportunity for Oba.
I think it could get really interesting if Brock doesn't get involved in this match. We're all expecting Brock to go out and do something here.
Mm-hmm.
But what if he doesn't? Match is over. Oba's got his king crown and then beats the hell out of him. Now we've got a very interesting scenario with Brock Lesnar could be challenging for a world championship again.
Yeah.
And you flip the belt once just for fun. But I would have really liked to have seen in that slot instead of Jey? Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy has been performing very well. And then I can tell you the internet has taken notice. They're saying, man, didn't realize this. Jimmy's a better promo than Jey. I was like, well,
I mean, because he says more than you.
Yeah. I feel bad for Jey on that because he got pigeonholed on that whole thing.
Yeah.
He didn't try it. It just took off.
Yeah.
People dig it, but it's the way it goes. But there are two people that have taken losses recently. One was LA Knight in that match.
Mm-hmm.
And then Natty went down to NXT a week ago. And she gets submitted. That's right. Not Natalia. Natty gets submitted by Jada Parker.
Yeah.
Is it time for them to pack their bags? And I know Natty just signed a deal. But they can't get a fair shake, man.
Well, what is she there to do? Is she there to continue her career and build more championship reigns? Is she there to help the new generation and have somebody to work with that can build them up? And maybe that's the case. And if so, then maybe she's doing the right thing.
I mean, Miz is a guy in the same boat. And look, the Danhausen thing, Miz is helping carry this. He is not getting enough credit for shouldering the load on this one. But man, those three. I mean, I wanted Natty to go to AEW. Mm-hmm. If she showed up there, she'll win that Owen Hart tournament, and within a year, she would be main eventing at Wembley, which is what she deserves.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve this. So I don't know. I'm not happy with the booking for any of them.
I mean, when you have somebody who has one of the doors open for WWE going, well, we're only interested in talent if they're under the age of 21. I heard that at a clinic. It's like, that sucks. Like,
yeah.
So all the people who've, been the journeymen and journeywomen for the last, dozen years of their career, sorry, your expiration date's gone.
Yep. And you get to get beat by everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Natty, if you're out there listening, you can still break that contract. Hey, we got some comments in the chat box, Phil. We probably should hit because these guys are going absolutely nuts in here.
Let's go.
We got Javon Campbell, E357. I'm liking the Broken Moose Hardy. Yes, that was kind of funny. That was funny. I dug that. Yeah, if you didn't see it, he teamed with the Hardys on Impact and came out as Broken Moose. I don't like breaking mooses. That's one of the few animals, don't mess with a moose. Let's see. He also said, whose house? We were talking about Swerve Strickland. Death Rider's house in a screw job. Oh, so Javon thinks it's going to be Swerve getting screwed over with Will getting screwed over by the Death Riders, and he wins. That's interesting. Interesting thought. Buying a scoop talking about Jey Uso, and the crowd goes mild. That's a good comment. I think that's fair. He also said Brock costs Oba, sets up Oba Brock SummerSlam. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. See, it's just I kind of
so King Yeet and Oba goes on with Brock. Okay,
yeah, that's all right.
King Yeet, copyright Phil Stanford.
Nice. We've also got Scoop saying Jimmy has always been the better promo. Yeah, good work. I don't know if it's always been the better promo, but he may have surpassed him in this whole thing. Yeah. He may have. It's pretty interesting. And let's see. And yeah, here's my point from Javon. Natty would have a bigger impact in AEW than Serena Deeb. I think she'd have a lot bigger impact than that. Man, where is Serena Deeb, by the way?
I just saw something about her. I have to look it up really quick. It was good. Like she was on an event somewhere. I love Serena Deeb.
I do too. And it's amazing that she hasn't. Sometimes I wonder about Tony's booking of the women's division. I'm still waiting for Britt Baker to get back. Where's our DMD? We need our DMD. She's just sitting around, man. Making appearances, having a great time, picking up a paycheck. How'd you like that job, Phil? That you don't have you don't have to show up for work for 3 years.
Yes.
It's been about that long, right?
I mean, yes. Just
unbelievable.
I'm using air quotes to work at wrestling and then just get money, which is dumb. Like you shouldn't. Like it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be happening that way. Like if there's a reason she should be gone, then she should be gone. But if you're just like, well, we're just gonna have her hang tight and we're just gonna pay her on the side.
First free agent signed by AEW, and there she is. Oh, I had the match. I still remember that match of the year with her and Thunder Rosa in the cage. That was awesome. And they've both kind of went poof. I mean, Rosa got hurt, but wild stuff on that. And before I let you out of here, Austin Aries beats Blue Panther, wins the MLW National Openweight Championship. Good play by MLW to get Austin Aries back in the mix.
Yeah, I mean he's been off and on with them for a minute. Like, I think I use him. If you got him, use him.
It seems like just every time something happens, and he does the Homer Simpson back into the shrub, and he's just gone.
Then he does this,
and then all of a sudden, boom! There he is.
Right. He does the Scooby Doo and come out the other door. Yeah, totally.
It's unbelievable, that guy. How long has he been wrestling on? It's got to be like 20, 25 years.
Oh, at least.
That's crazy. But yeah, Austin Aries gets himself a new title on MLW. And I guess we're pretty much wrapping up. So Phil, what's going on with Revolver? The Wrestling Revolver.
Revolver has an event against Battle Club Pro up in Canada today in Mississauga, Ontario. So that'll be live on YouTube at 4:00 on Revolver's YouTube channel, where you can see all our last two live events were there. I think our last live event from last weekend has already something like 34,000 views. So make sure you go check that out for free on YouTube.
Can I come work with you guys?
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something.
I'll carry a bucket or something. I'm good.
I mean, we would still like to come to Vegas again.
Get out of here. I was saying that to Sammy forever.
Yep.
I'll be his uncle.
It's there's only so much money and time in the world. That's
come on.
Right.
We know where to get the ring. We know where to get the place. Simple.
Yeah.
Just show up. But I do want to wish Sammy and Tommy all the best for what happened to them with TNA, and I hope they find a new happy home. And maybe it's Revolver. Maybe Revolver's going to make a run. We'll see. Phil, where can he find you?
You can find me everywhere online at Trust in Phil.
It's a risky proposition, but he's a good guy. And check out all that great stuff he does the independent wrestling chart on his Twitter account. Just go to @TrustandPhil and check it out. Phil, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well.
All right. We will be back with hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Stick around. One more to go.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter @Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook @The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube @The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Now is the time to refinance your auto loan with One Nevada Credit Union and put more chips back in your stack. With no payments for 90 days, you could score a better rate, lower your monthly payment, and keep more of your hard-earned money right where it belongs, in your pocket. That's money you can use for bills, savings, or a little more fun. It's fast, it's easy, and it's all about putting you in a better financial position. One Nevada Credit Union. We're all in with our members. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. In Nevada, the action never stops, and neither should your banking. Our mobile app is the ace up your sleeve, letting you manage your bankroll anywhere, anytime. Check balances, transfer funds, deposit checks, and pay bills with just a few taps. No lines, no waiting, just smart, simple banking that moves at your pace. Download the app today and take control of your financial game. One Nevada Credit Union. We're all in with our members. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get ready for another unforgettable musical journey. The Las Vegas Songwriters Festival is returning this summer from August 20th through 22nd, featuring 50 world-renowned songwriters performing their biggest hits in an intimate setting, all from the air-conditioned comfort of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Get your festival passes before they're all gone. Visit vegassongwriters.com for the full lineup and details. Las Vegas Songwriters Festival. We look forward to seeing you there.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher. It's not easy getting your child to school each day. Making breakfast, packing lunch, remembering homework, and getting to class on time. It's a lot, but you're setting your child up for success. Kindergarten through 3rd grade classes are especially important to your children's growth. Missing school even 2 days a month could hurt your children's ability to learn. Give them the best chance of a great future, because they'll be shaping ours. This message is sponsored by Strength in Our Community and the Clark County School District, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Talks in Switzerland. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. A U.S. delegation led by Vice President J.D. Vance in Switzerland with Iranian officials as both sides continue efforts to reach a broader peace agreement following the signing of a temporary memorandum of understanding. Fox's Trey Yingst with more.
High-level diplomatic talks are taking place in Switzerland aimed at solidifying the memorandum of understanding and entering into the next phase of negotiations. Vice President J.D. Vance is joined by Special Envoys Kushner and Witkoff for these conversations. And we do know on attendance from the Iranian side, you have the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Khalibaf, along with the country's foreign minister. The issue of Lebanon remains a major sticking point. 5 Israeli soldiers were killed by Hezbollah in the course of 48 hours over the weekend, the Israelis responding with heavy airstrikes across southern Lebanon. Now, in response, the Iranians claim they are closing the Strait of Hormuz, something U.S. officials pushed back against, saying that U.S. forces remain in control.
Meanwhile, Iran continues to tie Lebanon to the Memorandum of Understanding and says any Israeli strikes against Hezbollah will be considered a violation of the deal. A Utah judge set to rule on key legal issues in the Tyler Robinson case, including potential sanctions and what evidence will be allowed at the jury preliminary hearing in the Charlie Kirk killing.
These key rulings from the judge will be coming just a couple of weeks ahead of Tyler Robinson's preliminary hearing, where prosecutors must present enough evidence to establish probable cause that Robinson is the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk as he spoke at Utah Valley University last September. So tomorrow we expect the judge to rule on a defense motion asking for sanctions against prosecutors, specifically blocking them from seeking the death penalty, all as punishment for comments the defense say prosecutors made to the media in violation of a gag order.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. The judge also expected to rule on a defense motion to prohibit hearsay testimony from the upcoming preliminary hearing. America's listening to Fox News.
History isn't just in textbooks. It's the story of us, the United States. 2026 marks 250 years of America. And throughout the year, Bill Hemmer takes listeners on a journey through the 250 most impactful moments in American history. From the spark of revolution to the battles for freedom, the ideas, inventions, and decisions that changed the world. The 250 most impactful moments in American history podcast. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace Cameron Bure.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil Sims.
It's Dolores Catania.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kix Brooks.
It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Rob Paulson. I'm Ryan Serhant.
Hey, everyone. I'm Nicole Palizzi.
Everybody's Kevin Nealon.
What's up, guys? It's Nia Sue, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
Your back-to-back Los Angeles Dodgers baseball is coming up this afternoon at 12.
Nice.
And the talk you love is always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartMedia, or TuneIn apps. Just search for KDAWN in Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show, Hour 2. Coming at you right now as we bring you the best in pro wrestling. Had to say goodbye to Phil. He had previous obligations, but great to have Phil Stamper back on the show. And once again, follow him at Trust and Phil on X and all his social media. He is going to have it all for you on the independent scene. The work that he puts in is incredible. So make sure you check that out at Trust and Phil. Now, we were talking about the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. We didn't get to the Queen. And my bracket got blown up. Thanks, WWE. But is that a bad thing? I wanted Raquel in the final. I wanted her in the final. But she was dispatched by Io Sky. So and by the way, Liv Morgan gets a submission victory over Charlotte Flair. I don't care how she did it. I'm looking at the book right now, and it says Liv Morgan in the red, yay. Charlotte Flair in the blue, boo. Submission. That's all you need to know. This is going to be interesting because we kind of thought we were going to get Liv, Raquel. Raquel maybe takes the title off of her, or we just have a big Judgment Day blow up. But now you get Liv and Io. And who knows what's going to happen with Rhea Ripley. We still have not heard when she's going to be back from that knee injury. Hopefully she's not going to be forfeiting the title. But Liv's got the other one. Could you imagine our little Liv running around, and she's got her women's world championship, and Rhea Ripley can't wrestle. Livy 2 belts, here we go. I think they might do it. People have been saying, why was Liv in this tournament? Well, she didn't want anybody to get a title shot at her. Okay. Makes sense. But I really do think Liv could win this thing. They don't need to have another women's championship match. But could you imagine if you go into SummerSlam, she's challenging Rhea, and Rhea's knee isn't good? Liv Morgan is going to go over. It's going to be fun. But hey, you know what? We got the Empress of the Skies, Io Sky. Pretty good. Yeah, and Javon Campbell in the chat box. You're agreeing with me. Oh my God. It looks like Creative is going for a Liv double championship angle. Could be some AI writing in effect. Oh, jeez, Javon, you're a funny guy. Maybe. But I think it is a distinct possibility. If it was Raquel in that slot, I don't think they'd be pulling that. I think somebody would probably be costing Liv her champion, or at least this match. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, like we were talking about in the last hour, on the men's side, it is Jey Uso taking on Obafemi. Could you imagine if they did squash? Oh, my God. I don't think they'd squash Jey Uso like that. Because I do think with this Bloodline storyline, oh, my God. What if Jay paid Brock? See, look, I get in the door here, and when I'm coming down to the show, I'm always going through, what are some of the possibilities I'm going to talk about? But God, I love when a decent idea pops in my head. Oh, my God. The Bloodline pays off Brock Lesnar. Yeah, works for me. And then Night of Champions, of course, that's coming up on Saturday, so we definitely have to take a look at that as soon as I get to my notes on that. Bear with me. It doesn't want to give it to me. Give me 1 second. Let's get that up there. But that'll be in Riyadh on Saturday night, or Saturday morning, actually. So that's going to be, it's going to be an interesting night. Look, I know WWE's kind of slipping up a little bit on their creative. And we're going to talk about that because, of course, the Road Dogg was running around, and we just had Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan been sent into the Netherverse. But, creative gets interesting. We'll get to that. So we have Jey Uso, Obafemi, King of the Ring final, Io Sky, Liv Morgan, Queen of the Ring tournament final, U.S. Championship match. Now, here's one that, that changing of the guard. Trick Williams, Ricky Saints. I think if Ricky wins, he should be able to go back to being Ricky Starks. That's what I do. But that's just me. But that should be a lot of fun. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker are going to lock themselves away in a Steely Cage match. Someone is getting speared into that cage. I don't think it's going to be Braun. Seth might stomp him into it. But that's going to be fun. And it may end up being the blow-off match of the feud. But look, I think Seth has some bigger aspirations. But this is one of the trickier things about booking pro wrestling. Because you have this young stallion that you want to push forward. But you have a great veteran who doesn't deserve to get pushed out. So I think it's going to be an entertaining match. We have a triple threat match for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes takes on Gunther and Sami Zayn. I figured Cody was probably going to hold on when it was just Gunther. Now Sami in Saudi Arabia, who has somehow embraced them. I don't get how it happened, but this is now very intriguing. Would they actually, do you guys think that they would pull the trigger and put Sami Zayn on top of the world while Gunther and Cody Rhodes just kind of sit there back in the corners like, did that just happen? What? Gunther gets that exasperated face, and Cody just kind of gets all slack-jawed. Would they do it? I give Sami about a 20% chance. We'll find out. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. Tiffany works her way back to a title match. So she'll get another shot at Jade Cargill for the United States Championship. Another test for Jade. Jade's starting to pull it together. And given the fact that when her wig came off a couple weeks ago, and that was her greatest fear in the ring, and now it's happened, it's kind of like, somebody breaks my leg. Well, I still get paid. The Tiffany Stratton trying to find her way back home. And she's in a very interesting position on the card, too, because of the fact that she got pushed to the moon when she first got started. But then recently, it's been terrible. It's been absolutely terrible. I don't know if they're just paying her back for the divorce comments against Charlotte. But Tiffany Stratton is in a weird spot because she's got all those young women that came up or are coming up from NXT. And she's got to compete with the veterans on top of her trying to stay relevant. Yeah, no thanks. That's like the Star Wars wall in the garbage disposal, just closing in slowly. We'll see what happens with Tiffany. See how tough she is. But that is going to be your card for Night of Champions. So that should be solid. Knowing WWE, it'll be B+. But you guys are in the chat box out there. What do you think? Do you see any curveballs coming in this thing next Saturday night? It wouldn't shock me, but for some reason WWE doesn't like to pull that. I don't get it. But yeah, Night of Champions in Riyadh on Saturday. And then if you're looking around WWE too, Danhausen doing his thing. Sorry, I got a cough drop. I don't hate Danhausen. He's a cool dude. But, my God. The Miz has been electroshocked. Kit Wilson, I don't know what's going on with him. And now we got rid of one of our favorites, our deathmatch man. And Zack Ryder makes an appearance. Woo, woo, woo. No. No, 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 and no. Other way. I don't know why they keep wanting to make him, Matt Cardona, a comedy goofball in WWE. I don't get it. Turn the man loose. Natty's kind of in the same spot. Knew she wanted to do something different to, spice things up, make her not be the goody two shoes girl. So she comes up with the Natty persona. And they don't know what to do. WWE, as great as an organization as they are, they seem to find a way to lean back on shaky comedy. They don't want to go the other way. I need Matt Cardona to go out and beat people up. I need Natty to go out and beat people up. Miz hasn't won a match for a couple of years on TV. Isn't it time? Oh, man. Wait. In the chat box, and if you're not there, at Mark Hoke Show on X, The Mark Hoke Show on YouTube and Facebook, there's an explanation as to why this happened. Javon Campbell, 8357, says Danhausen brought back Zack Ryder to join the feud between Horrible Hoke and Danhausen. If I get Zack Ryder, I mean, he'd still beat me up. But I'd have a little better chance at least. Could I beat the Deathmatch King? Nope. I do not want to be carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Hard pass on that. But yeah, please, guys. You brought him. I don't know why they brought him back if this is what they're going to do. And I know that it's great for Matt. He gets to work with Chelsea. They're on the same show. So hubby, wife, great life, making great money. But do you get the personal satisfaction? And that's what we were talking about with Miz. I'm talking about that with Natty. I'm talking about that with LA Knight. That is if I were a pro wrestler and someone signed, if like WWE came to me and said, Mark, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Trips, what's up? And said, we're going to give you $250,000. And we want to beat you up every week. We want you to be a goofy, dull-witted moron who just falls for every trick for everybody. That's our vision for you. $250,000. That's got to be hard to turn down. And I'm sure that those guys are all getting more than that. But at what point does your love of pro wrestling take the place of the money? It wasn't like Matt Cardona wasn't out there making money. I mean, he worked hard for it. But do you really want to be Zack Ryder again? One night, they did the John Cena thing. One night. It's kind of funny. But do you want, you guys out there, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but God, just let Matt be the man that he developed into and not being the simp who got pushed off a stage in a wheelchair looking like a Wile E. Coyote after an Acme dynamite bomb exploded while John Cena makes out with his girl. That was done. It's finished. And they're going to go back to it. Oh, no. God, would they hate me in that creative room? I'd be the no guy on some of this stuff. I always am looking ahead. And I think that you also, and not that they're not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not looking ahead. Clearly they are. But sometimes they make some pretty spontaneous decisions. And in pro wrestling, you do have to do that. That's okay. But not whoa. No. Matt Cardona, I am out there rooting for you. If they're doing this to set you up to, get some barbed wire in Cody Rhodes' head, yes. Perfect. Right now, not so much. All right, we are going to take a break. And when we come back, let's see, what else we got? A bunch of crazy stuff. We'll go through Forbidden Door. Take a look at TNA a little bit later on as well. Somebody won a pretty big jiu-jitsu tournament. Let's see how smart you guys are. Who was it? Stick around. Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang! Sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Those old chemicals dumped outside, they don't just disappear. They go right into our waterways. Only rain should go in the storm drain. Discard household chemicals properly. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in working together to preserve our water resources for future generations of Nevadans.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. Talk of Las Vegas. And yes, my throat's still a little messed up. But I'm still staying peppy. That's what you got to do. You know, don't get grumpy on the air, doesn't help. I like to have fun. And that's what pro wrestling is. We enjoy it. It's fantastic. And we're very happy for, anybody, new listeners tuning in. And I know we got a bunch of them out there. Ratings are pretty solid. And we'd love to get more people in the chat room too. So sometime, tell your friends. Let's double this up a little bit. By the way, Javon, I'll tell you, I love Javon's comments, even if they suck. Chelsea's tacky time made it into a funny promo for Tiffany. Yeah, Chelsea Green. Whether you like her personally or don't, man, she is funny. She is funny. Put Matt Cardona in his place. So we have a big, huge, massive, monstrous Sunday coming up next week. TNA Slammiversary kicks off Sunday, 1 Pacific. And we went over the card already. Some of the featured matches. Mike Santana defends the TNA World Championship against Nick Nemeth. And Santana is one of the people that is getting a lot of attention about going to WWE. I would caution Mike on this. And I know that it is every wrestler's dream deep down their heart. Let's admit it. Do you want to be in AEW if they offer you a contract? Absolutely. But that it's still kind of that burning star out there. You're like, oh man, if I could only get some of that Triple H money though. Maybe my merch sales will go up. Mike, be careful on this. Be careful. It's going to be really interesting with Leon Slater, by the way. That is a guy that Tony would love to sign now. He would probably give up a few nice things in his wardrobe to get Leon Slater. A few watches. He is going to be taking on, in that Ultimate X match, he's got Cedric Alexander, who is the champion, Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, Fabian Eichner, KC Navarro, and Amazing Red. Brace yourselves, everybody. I don't know if that structure is going to hold it. We'll find out. Some other matches I'm interested in on there. It'll be fun to see who Mustafa Ali gets. That's another guy that they can probably build around a little bit. And that's why I'm kind of saying to Mike, maybe you ought to tough this out a little bit. Because you can build around Mike Santana. People really like him. They like the story. If you look at the tag match right now, oh my God. You got the new system, and Bear Bronson has just become a juggernaut. You got the Hardys, who are going to be your emergency break glass in case of emergency guys. And then you got the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch, who just won that Wicked Garden match. Intriguing tag team match there. And what else am I? And not downing any of the other matches. Eddie Edwards and Moose, they've been going around forever. They'll get something good out of that. But that'll be Slammiversary. And then coming up that afternoon at 4, which could potentially overlap, is the Great American Bash. And when you look at this card for the Great American Bash, well, first off, why did you put this against TNA and AEW? Or Shawn Michaels, brilliant guy. I think it's a terrible play. Why? They could have controlled that Saturday. They could have had everybody talking about what happened in back-to-back shows with Night of Champions followed by Great American Bash. Now we're just going to overlap and counter program. Oh, yeah. But there are some stars of the future on this card. Saquon Sugars against Deion Lennox. Ren Sinclair was just fantastic. She'll be taking on either Ariana Grace or Izzy Dame for the Speed title. Miles Bourne defends the NXT North American Championship against Tavion Heights. Tony D'Angelo gets Naraku, formerly Evil. That could be a pretty hard-hitting match. That'd be all right. But Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. And you know what? I'm calling my shot. It's Kendall Gray's time. And you know why? She came on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course. Just see if I'm right. I'm sure I'll get mocked if I'm not, but that's okay. I don't mind. But the interesting part, I think, about when you look at this card, you had just 4 or 5 months ago a hugely solid group of wrestlers there. People were saying, yeah, this is kind of like NXT Black and Gold, just because of all the talent that was in NXT. Well, it had to go away sometime. And they're going to be in a very similar spot that TNA is right now with all these people leaving. The cupboard may be slightly bare, but I bet you got enough in there to make a pizza. A really good one. So it's going to take some time for everybody in NXT to find their new roles. But especially on the women's side, they're fantastic. They are fantastic. And TNA will find its footing too. It's just a matter if the company is going to be sold or not. And I'll be frank, I think they're doing it. I think they're selling it. I just hope it doesn't go to WWE or AEW, actually, because it'll be done. Here's your tape collection. Thank you. And Tony would, and by the way, if Tony got handed old TNA videotapes, he would run home and throw them in the VCR. He's not crazy about it. But it's a interesting situation there with those cards going. We'll see. We'll see how courteous this thing is. If WWE decides not to cross over the main event, or the main event in TNA doesn't cross over there. And then on Sunday night, Forbidden Door, this card started. Man, I got to tell you, when you have a guy that just puts great match after great match after great match together, and then you get this. Now, there are a couple on there. I'll say they're underrated. But Forbidden Door has always been one of the best pay-per-views for AEW. So they are doing Divine Dominion, defending their AEW Women's World Tag Titles against Thunder Rosa and Olympia. That's a very underrated match. And I think it's gonna open the show. Cope and Cage get the dogs, Dave Finlay and Clark Connors. And I'm sure there's a lot of American fans that are like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. The Young Bucks. Oh man, they are in for a night and a half. They are going to be flopping all over the place. They get El Sky Team, which is Mystico and Mascara Dorada. They're fun. They fly. I think they fly a little higher than Nick and Matt do right now. But I'm sure we'll put it to the test. And Unbound Company is coming over. Shingo Takagi and Titan, which I think will put some great variety into that match. Should be a fun match there. John Moxley gets Bandito. It is for Moxley's AEW Continental Championship. Bandito will not win that. Even if he is the Ring of Honor World Champion. Nope. It's Mox. The guy who hates AEW. It's going to be fun to see how they play this a little bit, especially if he sticks around. But Shota Umino, takes on Pac for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. They had 4 major title changes after the sale of the company for New Japan, and that's one of them. So that should be pretty wild. Tekla gets Starlight Kid from Stardom for her world championship. Doubtful title changes hands, but they're both great performers. I want Mercedes Moné and Athena in this one, but I do not get it. Thanks, Tony. Mercedes Moné gets Maya World. The underdog run dies here. And what I hope they do, 2-minute squash. Just have Mercedes go out and rip her apart. So you'll set the stage for her taking on Tekla at All In. Kenny Omega against the best technical wrestler in the world, Zack Sabre Jr. And I had the honor of getting to see Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle Bryan Danielson. Jeez, incredible. It'll be fun to see what Kenny does with him. But yeah, it's just a match on the card. That isn't that crazy when you think about it? It's close to being the cool down match. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega is a cool down match. That's a roster. But be ready for that. I cannot tell you how much respect I have for both of those guys, but Zack Sabre Jr. is just phenomenal. Will Ospreay gets Swerve Strickland. Winner wins the Owen Hart Cup. And also the World Championship match at All In, just like with Mercedes and Maya. Anybody out there think that Swerve's going to win this? And I think Swerve would do nastier things to me than Will Ospreay would if I picked him to lose. But this is Ospreay's time. The next heel, he should be ready to roll. And then we get a steel cage match. Kind of came out of the blue a little bit. But they've been doing a decent job building this up. Team Briscoe. Them boys. At least one of them, God rest your soul, Jay. Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Suke Takeshita, and Darby Allin. Woo! That's a pretty good team, right? They will face off with MJF, the world champion. Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, the big man, Jake Doyle. Nice guy, by the way. Kazuchika Okada, and Andrade El Idolo. If Briscoe's team wins, he gets a shot at the world championship with MJF. And I think Team Briscoe will win this match. I think there's going to be the internal strife as these guys are going along. But if you remember right, Mark beat MJF at a pay-per-view in one of the bloodiest matches I've ever seen. I think it's going to be exciting. So, man, sit back, get your popcorn. Whew. And by the way, one more Javon Campbell. Whose house? Hoke house. Hoke's house is the answer to that question. And if Swerve ever gets in the studio, you're going to tell him that. I'm going to die, but I'll tell him that. But that Swerve was awesome. So that's getting ready for the AEW Forbidden pay-per-view, Forbidden Door pay-per-view, with 3 shows, which is so stupid. Like I said, take that NXT Great American Bash show. They think they're going to draw people away because they're putting it on the CW. Just do it after Night of Champions. Man, you sit there hyping the whole thing and you get the whole day to yourself. By the way, mentioned on Will Ospreay, well, we had him. June 14th is the man's wedding day. He tied the knot with Alex Windsor, and he got a little graphic. That promo was Swerve, but that's okay. He can do that. But yeah, Will Ospreay, Alex Windsor, hitched on the 14th. All right, let's step back and let's get our final break of the day in. Man, some good judo going on. We got the daughter of a Hall of Famer. Actually, I don't think he might not be in the Hall of Famer. Shooting her mouth off again. And what the heck is going on in D.C.? Stick around, everybody. More on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. That's all Las Vegas.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% give of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price, $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes auto pay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Empower. Katie got a VIP box for the postseason. She worked with Empower to help her get good at money so she can be a little bad. She planned well and was able to bring the whole family.
Who wants homemade egg salad sandwiches?
Even Beth.
Horseradish? Anyone? How about some tuna on rye?
Oh, strike 3, Beth. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. 4, 6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. May is Wildfire Awareness Month, and every Nevadan has a role to play. Wildfire doesn't wait, it moves fast. Driven by wind, heat, and dry conditions in the Nevada high desert, it only takes one spark to put lives, homes, and communities at risk in minutes. Become wildfire ready with 3 simple actions. First, make a plan. Know your evacuation routes. Pack a disaster supply bag. Sign up for local emergency alerts. Second, prepare your home. Clear dead vegetation. Clean your roof and gutters. Move anything flammable away from your home. Creating defensible space can save your property and your life. Third, know before you go. On red flag warning days, avoid activities that can spark a fire, like a backyard fire pit or target shooting. For more information, visit oem.nv.gov. Sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Nevada Office of Emergency Management Homeland Security, and your local emergency manager's office, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, me the ones. Me the ones. Put that on a t-shirt. Somebody get out there and do that. Put my face on a t-shirt. It says, me the ones. I like that. I like it. Let's go, Roman. I was a lineman too, you know. Not as good as him, but I can get lower. I'll take him on. See how that goes. We didn't mention, by the way, when we talked about TNA in the first hour. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me. Why are they negotiating to buy Ohio Valley Wrestling? Why OVW? You've already turned yourself into being one of WWE's training grounds because of this agreement. I said it from the start. I don't like it. So you're going to make up for it by adding a developmental of your own. I don't know. It just seems like a waste of time. And I saw a tweet where somebody was just saying, yeah, it's, all TNA is, a bunch of people getting the start and a bunch of people that are near the end. I don't know if it's necessarily fair, but, I get it. But why do you need OVW? They have enough stuff they can train everybody and get them experience. But this, I suppose there's a reason for it. Maybe you're adding an asset. So you can fix the books up a little bit more, get a little shine, and help out for the sale that's coming that I told everybody about. So that was pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw this, but Bishop Dyer, who is the former Baron Corbin, who had been getting some looks apparently from WWE, went out and after having not being able to see out of one of his eyes for a month and trained for 3 days, won a national judo tournament. They got to get him back in there. I mean, if I were Tony, I would have already made the call. Just keep stockpiling, baby. But Baron Corbin / Bishop Dyer, very underrated talent. And especially on promos. You got people mad. And who can forget Broke Corbin? Fantastic. So we'll see what happens there. Triple H, in an interview this week, said he was the first one to bring up the Montreal screw job. How about that? Let me grab that story, give you the details on here real quick. But he claimed he was in the room and Vince said, hey, he's not going to do the business here. And Tripp said, then don't let him, essentially. So now Triple H is taking responsibility for getting the ball rolling on the Montreal screw job. I bet Brett's happy about that. Poor guy. But he should have done the business. Just didn't want to lose to Sean. I get that. But, come on. You're going out the door to a massive multi-year contract. Well, so that happened. Speaking of stupid comments, I am so looking forward to talking about this. So, the formerly known as Ava, Simone Johnson, the Rock's daughter, came out in an interview this week, and she made comments about how after whatever she said, she left WWE because of all the conservative men that said bad things about her. Well, really, Simone? Did these bad, horrible conservative men start it? Or did you say something really dumb that puts you in that spot? I think that's where I'm going to lean. The tweet that got everybody mad, by the way, she said, an insensitive comment directed at Charlie Kirk just hours after he was assassinated. The post, she shared a post from comedian Gianmarco Ceresi on her Instagram, which read, "If you want people to have kind words when you pass, you should say kind things when you're alive." Charlie Kirk was a good guy. Just because you don't like his politics. But then she also said, be kind now more than ever. And then she wonders why a group of conservative people would come down on her. Well, duh. Man, I'll tell you. If you're going to put your hand in a meat grinder, you better be ready to have a stump at the end. Good job. Look at Simone. Donald Trump was in the news as well. Remember Game 3 of the NBA Finals? After Danhausen had removed the curse from the Knicks, and the president went to the game. Who won? The Spurs. And Danhausen said, "My curse didn't work because of that Donald Trump." That's right. Know your role, Danhausen. Know your role. Donald Trump controls it, baby. He's got your number. I will team with the 80-year-old Trump. Let's go. Put him against Woo Woo. Or maybe that fried Miz. I've met the Miz. We'll go. All right. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But what was not funny that happened, was happening over the past couple of weeks. We had that UFC Freedom 250 fight. Oh my God. If you are not changing your ring introductions for your sporting events after what they did over there, now you're not going to be able to come out of the White House every day. But the Marine Band, which by the way, all volunteer, was incredible, weren't they? That's how you get pride in America. Gaithy coming out, walking past the Hall of Presidents and the Constitution and everything else. How could you not feel that? It was pretty neat. But we had people trying to shut it down all over the place. We had someone who said, it was causing aesthetic problems for me. I can't you got to take that giant structure down. It's too much. Oh, shut up. Shut up. There's a patch of grass that's messed up. Yeah, but you know what? Grass grows. It's amazing. I've seen it. I've mowed it. So drop that. And then the stuff going on with the reflecting pool. Geez, Sue, are you kidding? People are actually going down there and have pro-algae signs. Pro-algae signs. I don't get it. What? We should just real quick, we should all be proud as Americans to be here. We are in the best country in the world. And, I don't care what side you're on. We're all together in this thing. But there's one side of the story, the other side of the story, and then there's a bunch of morons over there ripping up lining, and they had to drain the pool. The whole thing. Stupid. Millions of dollars gone. What? Because you want to make a statement? Please. I'll make a statement. I'll put your head in there. You can eat some of that algae dumped in, losers. But yeah, so that was something else. So we are getting ready for this huge weekend coming up in pro wrestling. But I do want to mention something else that's coming up too. And if you want to throw down a couple of bucks and have a great time, the 27th annual George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame ceremonies, July 9th through the 11th at the Waterloo Convention Center and National Wrestling Hall of Fame, Dan Gable Museum, is taking place. Nick Nemeth is going into the Hall of Fame, so big congratulations. And getting into this Hall of Fame, a lot harder than getting into the WWE Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Nick. They're also going to be honoring the Welch and Fuller wrestling dynasties, Jazz, Rodney Mack, and pro wrestling historian Tony Richards. Gerald and JBL and all these guys do an awesome job. Awesome job. So I'm not sure if they're live streaming it or not. But, if you can go, plus it's in Iowa, nice and peaceful right now. Unlike Vegas, which is just crazy every week. Oh, my God. But, yes, this is going to be one heck of a weekend coming up. I can't wait. But what sucks is we're on Sunday morning and all these cards are going in the afternoon. So maybe, maybe we should do a show. What do you guys think out there? Maybe we should do a show. I could keep the guys here a little bit. As long as I don't have anything important going on. We'll see. But it's going to be unbelievable. So we'll see how everything turns out on that one. Of course, once again, the schedule on that, you've got Night of Champions on Saturday, followed on Sunday by the TNA Slammiversary, NXT Great American Bash, and then AEW Forbidden Door. I don't know how we get through it. It's so much. That's a lot. That's a lot of wrestling to watch, especially on Sunday. Oh my God. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe DVR and get through commercials and stuff, but it's going to be a unbelievable time. But yeah, and just to recap what we talked about at the start of the show, TNA, Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan both out at TNA. Sammy thinking he was going to get Tommy's spot, and they said nope. So he'll be continuing to do his thing in Revolver. And I'm going to tell you something, Sammy's going to be motivated. The Wrestling Revolver shows are some of the best independent shows out there. They really are. Sammy and the team, like Phil, do a terrific job. They might be motivated now. The leader tried to help out the other house, and the other house kicked him out. We had some, once again, Tessa Blanchard leaves in the middle of her contract. From what she said, is like, they told her, you're going to do CMLL or you're going to do TNA. What is it? And she decided to do CMLL. I would have. Sorry, my first call is WWE. But Tessa Blanchard, that'll be fun to see where her road leads. It really will. Aiden Prince also out. Trey Miguel re-signs. Tasha Steeles re-signs. And Allie was the bunny in AEW with the Butcher and the Blade, has joined up, and I can't wait to see her freak out. Yeah, let's go. Give me psycho women. Yeah, that's a trend of mine, everybody. All right, and that is going to do it for us. We, of course, will be back next Sunday, 8 to 10 a.m. here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. And also check out the live stream. It's always posted, and you can see me. Okay, that's not a good reason, but you can see everybody interacting with us on the show, which is cool. So make sure you check that out. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. We've also got Instagram and TikTok. And yes, I know I'm behind. We'll get there. Some more interesting problems in the life right now. And that ain't one. Guys, we will see you next week on the Mark Hoke Show. And, enjoy Night of Champions. That one will at least get to hit a little bit. Who's going to win King of the Ring? Obafemi? Jey Uso? And Liv Morgan? Takes on Io Sky. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.